Far beyond the border of a Minecraft server lies a dimension inhabited by a Minecraft god, an entity with an extreme amount of power that seems to be able to control every aspect of our server. I've only ever had one interaction with this entity. Right after our 4th season ended, I woke up in the void and was face to face with it. I only managed to ask a simple "who are you?" before I was suddenly asleep again. But when I next woke up, I found a mysterious key, and at the time I didn't know what it meant, but since I found it, I've been finding these strange items that seem to be related to a Minecraft server and this entity in some way. An end crystal, a firework crossbow, and a very familiar looking axe. I've spent a while thinking and trying to figure out what this thing might be, but I've only been able to assume that he's the one pulling all the strings of these games. I don't actually know anything about him, at least until today. The day that the 6th season of a Minecraft server ended, and instead of waking up in the void like I normally do, I woke up somewhere different. Somewhere new.
Welcome, Bodhi.
Who are you? What are you? Why am I here? What is...
Hey, calm down on all the questions. Don't worry. I intend to answer everything you have to ask me today.
Instead of running away like a coward? Instead of putting me to sleep when I'm actually on to you?
Ran away? Is that what I did? No. You might think you scared me, but in reality, you really didn't. All you did was catch me a little off guard. And now that I've thought about it, it makes it even more entertaining if you do know what's going on here. After all, if I was scared of you figuring out things, why would I be telling you everything now? It's not like I've let you have any other clues, is it? You only know what I want you to know.
Just tell me what's going on. I want to know why everything's been happening, why everything that's happened has happened the way it did, and what you're actually doing with all of this.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. So, let's start off with the burning questions, shall we? First, who am I? As you probably already assumed by now, I control everything about NLS, from the rules to the cast. All of it is done by yours truly. My name is the Gamemaster. I'm a type of god, but more specifically, the god of entertainment. But originally, I wasn't alone. I was actually a part of a trio of sorts. You could say that. I was partnered with 2 other gods. The god of order, and the god of love, and kindness, and that stuff. We ran extraordinary games. Games with hundreds, thousands of people on a much bigger scale than the ones you're used to. But the thing is, the other gods always made sure that none of these games ever got too violent or ever too chaotic. And that just wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining at all, just to see everyone live in peace, to everyone to just build and live. No. So I planned for months about how I could make things change, how I could make a difference and start doing things my own way. And eventually, my opportunity came. The god of order and the god of kindness left to check on something that was going on in another dimension, and that left me all alone in the dimension with our games. So, of course, I acted swiftly. I changed all the rules to make it so that it was a last one standing type of tournament, like the games you're used to now, but only with one life. I told them that whoever won this game would be given extraordinary powers. And thus, the chaos begun. And let me tell you, it was the most entertainment I have ever had in my entire existence. It was beautiful. But unfortunately, my fun couldn't last forever. And soon enough, the gods came back. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw what I had done. It was just priceless. Unfortunately though, even though they are a bunch of wimps, they are actually pretty powerful. And two gods are more powerful than one, so they managed to defeat me and banished me here. They stripped me of all my power and left the dimension, cutting it off from any other place in the universe. So, for a while, I was stranded. I had no hope of ever continuing any of my games or getting to do anything other than just sit around in the void. But they didn't actually take away all of my power. So, with the last little bit I had left, I created this wonderful thing that you see behind me. An end crystal that very, very slowly regenerates my power, making me eventually unstoppable. But I still had to wait for a couple of months before I could even do anything with it. But eventually, I came up with an idea. A brilliant, amazing idea. Instead of just sitting in the void for this whole time and being bored, why couldn't I just recreate some of my games? On a smaller scale, yes, but still recreating them nonetheless. After all, this dimension was completely cut off from any other gods, so it's not like anyone would find out. So, I waited and waited until eventually I had enough power to drag around 20 people into this dimension from the other one. I wiped them of all their memories and put them in the void until I was ready to begin. I had an idea for what the kind of smaller scale games would be. I would give the players multiple lives, since if there was only 20 of them, if they all had one life, it would be over way too quickly. So, I would give them a couple more lives, maybe 6 or 8 or something like that. And I would make it so on their last life, they could kill people. And actually, not even they could kill people. I made it so they wanted to kill people. I influenced their mind a little bit. A sort of feeling of bloodlust, a want to kill when they got down to that last life.
No way!
And thus, with that idea, it was done. I just had to think of some of the minor details, but for the most part, I had a plan. So, I waited a little bit longer until I was able to create a world. A world of only around 500 by 500 blocks. But it would work. And I was this close to beginning the first game when suddenly someone appeared to me. And this caught me off guard because I knew that this dimension should be cut off from any other god of my type at least, but I was surprised to see it wasn't a god. It wasn't someone who looked like me. It was a human, almost. But if they had gotten here, that meant they were powerful enough. They told me that they were a researcher of sorts, that they were traveling dimensions looking for a way to get data. Data to recreate a world that he says is supposedly perfect in every single way whatsoever, which honestly sounds like complete shit to me, but, you know, he also said he could help me. I told him about my ideas for my games, and he said they would be a great way to get a lot of data and test some outcomes to see how to recreate this perfect world of theirs. So, we made a deal. He can watch and study my games and test outcomes in them to get the data for his perfect world, and in return, he will make twists that I don't know about for my games to make them even more entertaining and unique. We started the first game, Stolen Life. And ever since then, we've been doing the same old thing, making twists, running games. But you may be asking, what am I trying to do with this power once I actually have enough? Well, I'm planning to break through this sort of barrier that the other gods put up between this dimension and theirs, and then take out my revenge. Kill the god of order and the god of kindness, and take over their dimension. And once I do that, I can run my games on the massive scale that they deserve. Hundreds, if not thousands, of players taking part in these games, dying, betrayal, chaos, entertainment. And it will be beautiful. And come to think of it, I should only need one more season to be able to get enough power. That means that this upcoming season is going to be the final game. The end of all of this. And by the end, I'll be powerful enough to take out my revenge on those idiots that put me in here. And you, and all of your friends, will quickly be discarded.
Why are you telling me all of this now? You know I'm just gonna tell everyone, right? We're gonna fight back, and you won't stand a chance against all of us.
Well, about that, you know my associate that I've told you about that makes me the twists? That person is actually a lot closer than you might think.
What does that mean?
They're a player in the games. So if you tell anyone about this, even a single soul about this, then you will be executed quickly, without a second thought. So, does that satisfy you? Is that everything you want to know? Are you happy? Good. I'm glad. I suppose I should probably get working on the final game. After all, there is a lot of preparation that needs to be done. But instead of sending you to the void like I usually do and just having you wait there, why don't I send you on a little trip to memory lane? I'll see you in the final game, Bodhi. Good luck.
No, wait, you can't! Wait!
What did you do?
I just made sure that the only other person that knows about me never gets to interact with your favorite little teammate.
The only other person? What are you talking about?
There's two people that know. And actually, the other person that knows, other than Bodhi, is actually your fault, by the way.
What could possibly be my fault?
Do you not remember? How could it? Okay. So, let me re-jog your memory, I guess, if you don't remember. Stolen Life. More specifically, the finale.
Mm-hmm.
We all know you decided to just have a little bit of fun, spice things up a little bit, killed someone you shouldn't have.
Well, I get to decide, you know? I mean, I feel like it's within my rights to change the script a little bit sometimes.
Well, yeah, but let me explain why that caused all of this and why I've had to take this precaution in the first place. So pretty much, in you killing Kingslayer, you making that betrayal, you changing the outcome of the finale, obviously, as we all know, that caused Bloody to win.
Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it? Wasn't that entertaining? Didn't you have fun?
It was entertaining. I can't lie. It was entertaining to see him so sad after winning. You know, it was great to see that. But the problem is, Gun, he refused to die. He didn't take his last life, and as you know, we can't move on with the games until every life is taken. I mean, look at every other season, except for the ones that bloody have won. Everyone has killed themselves. Everyone has taken their last life.
Well, it's not my fault exactly.
Because you were the one that caused him to win that.
Well, you could have just, like, faster in killing him, you know?
Well, okay. Keep in mind, this is Stolen Life. This was when I had a lot less power. I only had 1 season's worth of power, compared to now where I have a whole 6. It took me a while to come up with a way to make sure that I could do this in the most reasonable way possible, without too much information getting out. So I went down there, I spoke to him, and I said, I pretty much sold him the same thing that I just sold to Bodhi. That there's a spy in there, and that if he tries to tell anyone about this, the fact that he saw me, then I will waste 0 time in killing him. That was that. I took his last life. You know, that was fine. But ever since then, I've had to keep a very, very close eye on him, which, to be fair, has been kind of fun. It's been really, really entertaining tormenting him, to be honest. But it's still work. Unnecessary work. It's something I wouldn't have had to do if you didn't make that mistake. If you didn't decide to just have a bit of fun in the games. You know that's not what this is for. You have a job to do. We both do.
Well, if you're gonna complain so much, I mean, what more do you want from me? You get entertained, I get entertained. What else do you want from me? Just a little extra work won't hurt, will it? You're a god, for fuck's sake.
I may be a god, but at that point, you gotta remember, I'm like, I was barely a god at that point when Stolen Life began. I had to wait, like, months to be able to even start Stolen Life in the first place and get all the players for it. I was way less powerful back then. You know that. And it's not as big of a deal now, but I've been having to make sure the bloody keeps quiet, because if this information gets out, then it's over. If they start to realize that there's something else going on, and more importantly, if they communicate that to each other, then this whole thing, everything we have done, everything that we've both been trying to work towards, me with trying to obviously get what I've been trying to get, and you trying to get your data for your oh so perfect world, all of that will be to waste. We have got 1 last season left, and then I'll be at full power, you'll have the most data that I can offer you, and then we can both go our separate ways. All I am asking from you is to not make any more mistakes and just deal with things. Do your job for 1 more fucking season.
You know, where have you been where I've been monitoring? I've been slaving off, you know? You know how exhausting it is to play these games? You know how tiring it is just watching these people do them, just do, like, whatever comes to their mind, trying to pull as many strings as I can to make it even a little bit entertaining. You know what would have happened if I just didn't do anything? They would just live happily ever after together, and nothing would happen. Do you know how much work I have to do for even anything to happen? Come on, you know I'm doing my best. So, what do you even do? You just sit here, watch on your fancy little TV.
Yeah, and we're both getting what we want. It's not like I'm just sitting here for nothing, am I? I have my own goals that you know. You have your goals that you know, and you know that you can't get the data that you need without my game, so at least nearly as close. No other god is gonna let you test the outcomes like I do. I'm the god of entertainment, for fuck's sake. What other god are you gonna find that's gonna let you do this sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, how much do they know anyways? They just know you exist. What are they gonna get from that? Like, knowing you exist won't do much. I'm sure it'll be fine. You can trust me.
I know you need me just as much as I need you. So all I'm asking is just do one more season. Try to keep an eye on anyone that seems like they might be starting to know more, especially Bloody and Bodhi. I mean, we do know about the key, after all, the one that Bodhi found. But I mean, I suppose you have a point. He hasn't found anything since then, has he?
No, I mean, no, if he did.
Okay. Good. I mean, I don't have much more to say. I just need you to do this. I need you to make sure that this doesn't go wrong. And I'll do that as well. I'll be keeping a close eye on Bloody and Bodhi. And honestly, it could be kind of fun tormenting them for a little bit, or at least getting some extra entertainment out of them. But at least Bodhi is a somewhat entertaining player. Bloody doesn't really do much. I mean, he's the highest of lives most of the time. He doesn't really get that many kills. Meanwhile, Bodhi has been so fun to watch, especially since he's starting getting more kills. And I gotta give you props for that. Fog Life was a joy to watch.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm proud of that one, honestly.
Yeah, I gotta give you some props for that. And just the Amplified Life ending as well was just fantastic, dude. But like, look, I know that you've gotten a lot better at handling these outcomes since Stolen Life, but I just figured I needed to warn you so that you could take the precaution. Just try to keep doing what you've done for the last 5 seasons since Stolen Life.
It'll be fine. You're not the only all-powerful being here anyways, you know? I can pull some powerful strings. It'll be fine. You can trust me.
I really, really hope that's true. I mean, I've trusted you for this long, and you haven't done anything to show that I shouldn't.
Yeah, when have I let you down?
Yeah, you make a good point, but it's just everything I've been doing up until this point has been riding on this. This final season has to be perfect. It has to go well to make sure that nobody can even get close to finding out what is really happening here before it ends.
Don't worry, I'll give you one final good send-off. It'll be so much entertaining to watch, you know. You can believe in that. Mind Life. Yeah, no, I'm cooking up something very, very interesting.
Alright. I mean, I trust you based on the last 3 seasons. I've got no reason to believe that you'll let me down in that department, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if everything goes to shit, at least it'll be fun.
That's very true. You've learned a lot from this experience, from me as well.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I could say that. If you ain't got much more to say, then I'll be off on my way. You know, I gotta make that perfect season you want me to. That's a lot of work.
Exactly. Yeah. I gotta start getting preparations done as well, fixing up the cast a little bit, getting a good world ready. So yeah, a lot of work to be done. And even if this all fails, if people start to rebel, at least it'll be It'll be very, very entertaining to watch them struggle.
That I can agree on.
So we can be happy about
Yeah.
that.
It'll still be a banger ending.
I trust you with that. And I'm trusting you with a lot here, and I have been trusting you with a lot here, and you haven't let me down yet, so
I'll see you in the games.
I'll see you in the final season again. There's a lot of work to be done.
What the? And with that, I was trapped. Trapped in the world of NLS Season 6. The same world where I betrayed one of my closest friends and accidentally won the series for a second time. It's obvious that the Gamemaster has sent me here to torment me, reminding me of the horrible things I've done up until this point, to demoralize me and make me give up on trying to defeat him. But I can't let that happen. There was no point in letting the mistakes of my past drag me down now. I couldn't waste any time thinking about how I could have done things differently, because that won't change anything now. What I need to do is find a way to kill the Gamemaster. In case you don't remember, for the last few seasons, I've been finding these strange items that seem to be connected to the Gamemaster in some way. And fortunately, this meeting with the Gamemaster had just confirmed that. Because in front of each tower in his dimension was a symbol of one of these items. And using the order of these towers, I think I can figure out exactly what these items mean. They seem to each represent a specific season of NLS, and this would actually make sense based on what happened in each series. Crystals were used to final kill a lot of people back in Stolen Life, fireworks launched from a crossbow were used by the winner of Third Life, and the axe was the weapon I primarily used in Apocalypse Life. And in the midst of all the chaos, I managed to see what the remaining 3 items were. Firstly, a trident representing Last Life. This one seems a little more vague, but I think it's because the winner of Last Life used this weapon in the finale to damage people. Secondly, a Totem of Undying, representing Fog Life. This one confused me slightly, but I think it can make sense. You see, the winner of Fog Life, a player named Bloody Inspired, managed to win the series on 2 lives instead of the typical 1 life that most players win with. Therefore, I think this totem represents that extra life that Bloody won the series with. And finally, the Elytra. This one is probably the most obvious, but in case you don't know, the 6th season of NLS was set to the Amplified World type, and Elytras were actually craftable so we could traverse the map easier. I believe that these items must be the key to defeating the Gamemaster, since they're the only thing that he seems to not know about. The way I've obtained these items in the past is after I found that mysterious key back in Last Life, and ever since then, I've found these items when important events have happened in the series. I found the crystal when Fog Life began, I found the crossbow when Fog Life ended, and I found the axe when I turned red in Amplified Life. But this means that so far, I've only been able to find 2 items in 1 season. And if what the Gamemaster is saying is true, about this upcoming game being the final season, I would have to find 4 items in the span of just 1 season. Now, you may be asking why I'm saying I need to collect 4 items instead of 3. Well, that's because, in the Gamemaster's lair, there was 1 tower without a symbol in front of it. I think that tower represents whatever the final season of these games is, meaning that I would have to discover that item when the series ends. But if I wanted to find these items in the span of just 1 season, I couldn't just sit around waiting for them to appear to me. I would have to search for them. I would have to figure out a way to discover one of these items on my own, and that would be extremely difficult. I've played in 6 seasons of NLS, and not once have I seen any sign that could guide me towards finding one of these items inside an actual world. But if I wanted to defeat the Gamemaster, I would have to find a way. The fate of all the people in these games, and the lives of hundreds, if not thousands of people that the Gamemaster is going to go on to torture, is in my hands. So when the next game began, I would have to think of something quickly. This world seems to be stuck in time, almost frozen on the day that this season ended. None of the mobs move, the sun isn't setting, and the cold rain never stops falling from the sky. So until the next season begins, all I could do was sit here and try to think of a plan. From what I've seen so far, it normally takes around a week or two for a new season of NLS to begin, but if this really was the final season, it could take a lot longer to set up. The only thing I can do now is wander this deserted world and think of a way to defeat the Gamemaster. After everything I've done in NLS, after every mistake I've made, I owe it to the people here to at least try and save them. Because if I can't, no one will.
Alright. I managed to get every system up and running, and they all seem stable, at least for now. So I ask, shall we begin for one last time?
Yes. Let the games begin.